Good morning. I am tired today, but we're going to Ruby Falls. I just came up here. It's my first time going to Ruby Falls. I'm taking you with me, and we're going to explore an underground cave system with a surprise at the end. But first, we need to go get coffee. And by coffee, I mean we're going to a drive-through trailer, Sunnyside Coffee, on the way. So let me get us back to there, and then we'll get here. And then we'll go see the falls. Are you ready? Let's go. That's awesome. They're all just working in there. Kind of exciting. I'm gonna get a latte. Let's see what kind of syrups they have. Brew coffee, cappuccino, cafe latte. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Never mind, I'll do pistachio, regular.
Pistachio?
Yeah. With can you do that with half and half for cream?
Yeah.
Awesome. On both sides. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Pistachio latte, early in the morning. Train going across. Not gonna lie, the drive up to Ruby Falls is actually freaking gorgeous. Oh my. And then we're right on the edge of like a cliff. And Chattanooga. Wow. Do I have to go this way? I do. I've got to go this way to Ruby Falls. Whoa, this is weird. You got to like turn off. And then there's like a sign. You see Ruby Falls there. And look back at the sunrise over Chattanooga. Wow, that is freaking stunning. Love it. Looks like we're at the city limits now. But man, look at that overlook. That overlook right there is stunning. Guys, you have to go to Ruby Falls like in the morning because it is the sunrise over the city is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. The lights, you still see the lights on from last night. See the river, Tennessee River down below. I mean, this is picture perfect moment in the morning. Wow. That is epically beautiful. It's incredible. And we are pretty high up. You know, when you plan and you look at like Google Maps, you don't realize how high you actually go. So Lookout Mountain, welcome to Ruby Falls. Where do I park? I guess I go up here. Yeah, I'm like one of the first people here. Careful not to go off the cliff here. Good morning. I am tired today, but we're going to Ruby Falls. I'm so excited for this. Like, first thing in the morning, I mean, you can't beat this. Look at the sunrise over the city. You have to come in the morning because this is like, I mean, this is seeing Chattanooga. I haven't seen Chattanooga from this height since I got here. I've been all down at street level, but wow. Well, the sun's really coming up now. Clouds are like just epic. I am just like floored to be here and didn't even expect it, didn't plan for it, but why didn't I think of this? I guess because of the time change, we're seeing the sunrise, and this sunrise is just incredible, like right over the city. Look at this freaking sunrise. And we're about to go in. I don't want to miss my time, but man, Ruby Falls in the morning is freaking magical.
We're here at the entrance of Ruby Falls, and tickets range from $17 to $40 for adults and children. Now let's head inside and see what's hiding underneath Lookout Mountain.
Oh, see the city down below, the Tennessee River. This city is flawless. We got Ruby Falls. Look at this golden hour right now, sunrise. Oh, I think you got like, man, Ruby Falls is, so far I'm pretty impressed. All right, I'm late. Got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to get to the tour. Hello. Pretty good. I'm here for the 8 o'clock.
There's a feeling that every great adventure movie seems to capture. You leave the familiar behind and you head into the unknown. You have absolutely no idea what's waiting around the next corner. And just like that, we're going down. We're stepping into this elevator and heading down about 260 feet beneath Lookout Mountain. It's kind of surreal when you think about it. Just a few seconds ago, we were standing outside in the middle of Tennessee, and now we're descending into a world that's been hidden beneath this mountain for millions of years. There's something about going underground that changes your perspective. The light disappears, the sounds change, and suddenly you're leaving the familiar behind. And somewhere down there is a waterfall Leo Lambert discovered almost 100 years ago. So let's go see what's been waiting down here all this time.
It's gonna get y'all's pictures. Well, I say y'all, I mean you.
Hey, it's me, myself, and I, so we're all good.
This is just about as close as you could get to feeling like you're on your own journey to the center of the earth.
Alright. So I'm gonna get 2 photos. First one's just gonna be small for me, alright? Big smile. Perfect. Now give me a big thumbs up. Show me how excited you are. Alright, great job. We're all set. Just head.
Have you ever wondered how many incredible places are hiding right beneath your feet? Ruby Falls is just one of those places that almost stayed hidden forever.
Products. Stay with your guide and follow the safety instructions.
Looking into a dark hole deep inside a mountain. Some folks might call it wise to turn back in favor of sunlight and to see this underground cathedral. But the entrance was sealed. The railroad needed that passage for their line. Time to give up the dream, right? No, sir. I started planning. It took near a decade. Investors took a chance on us, and we bought
The passage that Leo crawled through for those first 6
wow.
hours. Now he started from the elevator shaft we came down, which is the original and only elevator shaft. Through an entrance 5 feet wide, 18 inches high, and started that crawl over 6 hours with a course of 650 feet. In fact, we're actually going to have a sign showing us where we first stood up ahead. I equate it to probably being on a long road trip and getting out to the gas station for the first time, except a lot more rough than that.
Oh, yeah.
So, that said, as we make our way forward, we'll talk a little bit more about that journey for him. Just watch out, coming over this way, there's a couple low-hanging rocks.
Back in 1928, a local explorer named Leo Lambert squeezed through a tiny opening deep inside Lookout Mountain. Imagine crawling through the dark, narrow passageways with nothing but determination, hoping that you'd find something. Hours later, this man discovered a massive underground waterfall that no one ever even knew existed. Here's the fun part. He named it after his wife, Ruby. So yes, one of America's most famous waterfalls is basically one giant love letter. The cave itself is millions of years old. Every stalactite hanging from the ceiling and every stalagmite growing from the ground formed from one tiny drop of mineral-rich water. Some of these formations only grow about an inch every 100 years. That means what you're looking for has been patiently taking shape long before people in cities even wrote history. I think caves have a way of reminding us that the best things don't always happen quickly. And nature doesn't rush. It creates masterpieces one drop at a time. It's also amazing to think that while people are busy exploring mountains, oceans, and continents, an entire world is just waiting beneath them. Sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't somewhere far away. They're simply waiting for someone curious enough to keep going. Maybe that's the lesson that caves teach us. Stay curious, explore a little deeper, whether it's in the world or in your own life. There's often something incredible waiting just beyond the narrow passage you almost turn back from.
You know, to me, it's inspiring. So some people might think it's touristy and all of that, but you know, it's our planet. So.
Yeah, there's a reason people are interested in looking at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of looking at things, we have here our cactus and candle. Now, we call this the cactus and candle because it's kind of shaped like a cactus. You can see kind of like the main body and the offshoot. Also, the candle part because it kind of looks like candle wax.
Oh, for sure.
But also, this part kind of looks like a candle.
That's wild.
Now, all of the formations we see down here are made up of calcite deposits.
Even got the little spot where the wick would be.
Exactly. I'm going to show you something really cool with that in a second.
Oh, cool.
They're made of calcite deposits, so as the water sinks to the ground, it dissolves the limestone, redeposits the calcium carbonate in the form of a calcite, specifically a kind called travertine.
This almost feels like stepping into another planet. The rock formations, the darkness, the water, even the way the light hits everything. It's got a little Avatar energy down here.
You can light the candle because the light will actually refract through the crystalline structure of the formation. There are a lot of formations that you'll see that can have that translucent effect. The light is really, really cool.
That is really cool.
But I think just the idea of being able to light the candle is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been told by a kid it looks like Bluey from the side because you got the tails in the ear. So you can see anything if you really want to.
As we walk through the cave, we're surrounded by limestone formations created over incredibly long periods of time. Rainwater slowly moved through the rock, carrying minerals into the cave. Drop by drop, these minerals form stalactites, stalagmites, columns, and other cool formations. Some of these formations take hundreds of years to grow. Something that looks so small, to us, may have taken centuries to form. This cave stays about 60 degrees year-round, creating a completely different environment from the world above. And that's what makes Ruby Falls so incredible. We're walking through a landscape that has been developing for millions of years, hidden beneath everything happening above us.
This bypass allows traffic flow to make its way through the cave a little easier. But the really cool thing, it's still pretty cool, just being able to have this whole thing go, and that can hold for so long. And these areas here actually where we place the explosives to open up the passageway here.
You can kind of see the holes.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what you see on the side of the interstate when they blow out those cliff sides. Also, watch out here.
See, that's a low.
But one really cool thing on the same note of like those explosive pipings is we have one over here.
Wow, yeah, you see the blast?
Yeah, you don't normally get to see that. I mean,
wow.
there's not a lot to say about this other than it's just really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Best way I put it is it's the southern end of a northern bound donkey.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see his ears.
And the tail too.
Yeah, the tail's coming down. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the most polite way I can put it without making the donkey the butt of the joke. Careful here. This is one of the rocks I duck for down here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
We got the camera here.
Going tight.
Exactly.
We're going deeper into the cave system.
Oh yeah. By the time we get to the falls, I'm not going to spoil how deep, but we're going to be a lot deeper in the mountain than we started originally. And the interesting thing is, I'll tell you now, is from the elevator to the falls room, we'll actually gain 100 feet of elevation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, but if you kind of sit down and think at the end of it all, like the journey to that point, it makes sense. But it's spread out over so much, it really doesn't feel like it. And also, we're in our next stop. We're going to pull down the
Hall of Dreams. I love that.
We actually call it that because this is where Ruby Lambert would come in her free time to daydream. She'd actually come down here with a notepad and a few pencils, and she'd sketch out a lot of the formations you see here to work on her drawing skills. And the really cool thing is, this part of our cavern is host to the highest concentration of stalactites in it. As we make our way down the hall, you'll see hundreds, if not thousands of them on the ceiling above us.
Oh, wow.
It almost kind of reminds me of like a forest or a cityscape because of how many there are.
For real.
And the really tiny ones you're seeing here are especially interesting because they're a kind of stalactite that we call soda straws. But this is the part of the cavern we have the most of them. Again, it's just really cool. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, we have down here the oldest and largest formation.
There's something about caves that has always captured my imagination. I think about movies like Lord of the Rings or Indiana Jones. Caves are always these mysterious places hiding something incredible. And standing here, I begin to understand why. And the crazy part is, this cave isn't even close to being finished. Water is still moving through the rock and slowly shaping this place as we see it today. We spend so much of our lives looking outward, searching for what's over the next mountain or around the next corner. But there can be a whole entire world just beneath your toes. And that's what I love about places like this. They remind you that there is still so much we haven't seen. Sometimes adventure isn't about going farther. Sometimes it's about looking deeper. And there's something about not knowing what's ahead that makes an adventure exciting. Every turn gives you another little glimpse, but the real payoff is still waiting somewhere
On
ahead.
top of a lot of loose sediment, but underneath you have this big shell where you often find a lot of the larger pieces of rock and pebbles that were part of that loose sediment are still attached to the underneath because it wasn't as easily washed away. And that leaves that shell that you have here. It's also kind of like using like the chocolate syrup on ice cream that's solidified.
Oh, totally. Oh, it's totally. That's so cool.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then so you have like the darker color, and then up here you have like a lighter.
In of it too. I get asked a lot of the times why we have fire extinguishers down here. The funny answer is because of the naturally occurring OSHA mandates. But the legitimate answer is, well, partially yes, because of the OSHA mandates. Because we have so many electric wires down here that we want to make sure we have something in case they were to catch fire. Years ago, who came in, he was here from Sweden.
Super low.
He was here for one of the Ironman triathlons we host in town every now and then. And he was 6'11". I don't know how he did it, but he did the whole tour.
Wow, his back probably hurt.
I'm sure he used the Wi-Fi to schedule a chiropractic appointment. My question is whether it was the warm-up or the cool-down for the triathlon. Now, speaking of morning things and warming up, you didn't have your breakfast yet, okay? I got you covered. I got cave bacon and potato chips.
Oh, I love that. I love bacon. Makes it everything gets better that way.
Fair warning, it is technically vegan bacon, for better or for worse.
Oh, so it's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool because you can see those iron oxide stripes.
Bacon. Oh, yeah.
Kind of that texture.
Everything's better with bacon, even if it's vegan.
Oh, yeah. Denny's Grand Slam, you know. But as we pass under, you're going to hear a little clip from Leo, too. So watch your step over here, the path bottlenecks in. And also that area that we were in just before we saw the cave bacon and potato chips goes down here. The slower it goes. In fact, the waterfall actually flows anywhere between 350 to 500 gallons of water per minute.
Whoa.
It's crazy. But that said, sometimes we get enough rainfall for a long enough amount of time that water level actually rises up and floods our cavern. So where we saw that cave bacon and potato chip back there, that's where we typically start experiencing the brunt of our flooding.
Whoa.
Now, typically we shut down the moment that water gets up to about bridge level. And when the water gets murkier, that means it's tracking in more of the sediment from the surface, which is how we know, okay, we're starting to really get that water, and the water flow starts to rise. And when we flood down here, when we're like getting a really good flood, it can be about 3 to 4 feet deep over in that cave.
Wow. 3 to 4, that's like nightmare sauce, 3 to 4 feet deep.
Oh yeah. No. Wow. And that water is about 54 to 56 degrees Fahrenheit.
Almost seems like a filter. You could also say it's like a car filter or something. Those are really wild looking.
Oh yeah. No,
tobacco
absolutely.
leaves.
I never thought about it.
That's cool.
Right.
Kind of looks like the little filter things.
Yeah.
Wild.
Also, watch out coming this way. You can have some rock on the left and go down a set of stairs.
That's definitely like claustrophobia and like extreme fear all at the same time.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, as a caver myself, being in a wild cave, a lot of the times you do have to wade through streams. There was one cave I was at where I had to swim about 30 feet from the last part to the exit just because it was so deep you couldn't really stand in that part. And that's why you wear a lot of layers in a wetsuit if you're going to be doing that.
Yeah, for real.
Cave water too long, I mean, it gets into your clothing, it soaks. Also, we have our Niagara Falls here.
Oh, they got Niagara Falls here.
Yeah. Saving you a road trip to New York on this one.
Oh, look at that.
It's very pretty. I love how they set up the lighting for this.
All right, I'm in the dark. Can't see anything yet, but wow, I can hear it. We're here. We've made it to Ruby Falls. This is like the most incredible view of a waterfall. Guys, we are underground right now. Like thick, heavy rock going pretty much on both sides all the way up. I mean, look how high it is. It's like absolutely incredible. And yeah, I can't even tell you how amazing this is. Definitely come early. Get here before the crowds get here and just experience what it's like to be at Ruby Falls. Love it. I just have no words. It's so cool. Like my own little private tour. Nobody is here. It's so cool. Like, how much water comes out?
One more time.
How much water comes out of 350 to 500 gallons a minute? Wow.
There's something really beautiful about standing here watching the water cascade down through the cave, hitting the rocks. The time was limited. We had to turn back, but after walking through all this darkness and seeing incredible formations, you finally arrive at this peaceful little moment where everything just comes together. The sound of the water, the rock formations, the lights reflecting off the falls, and it's one of those places that feels so surreal. You can see why it has captivated people for nearly 100 years. There's something really humbling about being hundreds of feet beneath the surface, surrounded by dense rock and almost complete darkness. You're walking through some narrow passages, ducking under jagged rocks, stepping up and down, never really knowing what's around the next turn. And then suddenly, all of the efforts leads you here. One of the most beautiful places hidden inside of the earth. Standing here, listening to the water, taking it all in. This feels like one of those moments you don't want to rush past. And honestly, I have to thank myself for getting up early and making the effort to come here. But I also want to thank Ruby Falls for giving me this little bit of magic. Because sometimes the moments that stay with us aren't the easiest ones to get to. They're the ones that you work a little harder for to find.
Now, typically, we don't have critters in here, but first off, it's really difficult to get in. But also, because this place has been sealed off as it's formed, that means there's no natural ecosystems, with the exception of like maybe microbial ecosystems. We're hoping that at some point to enter a part of our cavern. In fact, actually, coming off the elevator, you might have noticed some dark passage on the right. That's our alternate entrance or exit, probably late October. But the really cool part about all that is when you go out at night, I think the roost is about 150,000 bats total. And you can even climb up on the cliffside next to this cave, and the bats will fly through the woods around you, and you can feel the flaps. And sometimes you might leave with a little bit of bat poop on you. Going through that area, but in reality, I mean, you can just go there and walk the trail and sit and watch. Or especially if you have your own, probably about yay big.
That's a big bat.
Oh yeah.
Our bats are tiny, but
They're probably they're called little brown bats. They're kind of a big wingspan, I think. And here we have our western sunset. It's another great example of a column formation. This one looks like something, of course, you might see out of an old western movie if you use your imagination. And
oh, for sure.
if you don't use your imagination, it looks like a light behind a rock.
Yeah, it's holding up the whole cave system, that little piece.
Yeah, some people say it's the thing that holds up the mountain, actually, because of that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we finished the reveal of Ruby Falls, and we're making our way back to the front. And wow, really impressive. You definitely should do this, especially driving up at sunrise. It was actually stunning to be outside and then to come below the earth and see these epic rock formations. This was really magical, and man, this was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And yeah, this is a 10 out of 10. Leo's Passage.
This was the only part of our cave that was not originally named by Leo himself. Everything else, though, was named.
Walking back through here, I'm realizing just how lucky I was to experience a place like this. And honestly, I'm pretty grateful we got out of bed early enough to make this happen. Because let's be honest, that alarm clock wasn't exactly our biggest fan this morning. But this was the payoff. There's something really satisfying about knowing you could have come and stayed in bed, but you didn't. Sometimes you have to give yourself a little push to get out there, and every once in a while, that decision gives you a pretty spectacular reward.
Now over here, we got y'all breakfast. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here with some dinner too. We got my leftovers from last night. Steak and taters, brought to you by the Hard Rock Cafe, of course.
Wow.
Very well marbled steak for you. Okay, you can't take that sort of thing for granted.
That is wild.
Absolutely, it is.
I mean, it looks like a ribeye.
I'm telling you,
Tell me.
Upgrade it to surf and turf and get ourselves a rock lobster there, you know.
So cool.
Coordinates and details about each cave, it is incredible. Magnesium, our water has about 14% magnesium. At that point, you might as well just go to Taco Bell and at least get a Baja Blast.
Oh, there's a cool one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Onyx column right there.
That's like a flame.
It really is.
It's wild. So cool.
Now, just around the corner here,
Here, I'll let you get back in the front.
Ruby's drapery. Personally, I'm not as well versed on his personality, but what I will say is he was a big baseball fan. Interestingly enough, Babe Ruth and his team actually came to play against our baseball team back in the day, and he came and visited us. And this Mr. Ruth, you know, he's supposedly the first person to toss a coin in the stream, but that day for the game, he actually got struck out by the only female baseball player in the National Baseball. Really cool stuff, but he wanted to get a picture with Mr. Ruth, with Babe Ruth being as tall as he was and Mr. Leo being as short as he was. I did you the Stir, where you saw Stir. There's a lot of cool places over there, like the Frothy Monkeys, a nice little coffee shop. Off of Fraser Stone Cup Cafe is another great, really nice coffee shop. That's where I go a lot to do studying, sometimes large groups down here. And passing down here ain't always fun.
The best thing about coming in early is you get the cave to yourself. And to be honest, we had a small group come through, and they were doing like really kind of geek out rock guide tour. But man, just seeing this in the morning. Get up early and do it. Okay, they also have a gift shop here when you're done with the tour, and they have lots of fun things for kids. They have some magnet stones you can get. These are always fun. And then they also have some other shiny rocks and geography related gifts. Really nice stones. They even have mugs. I may look at the mugs if they have a good mug. Oh, I love this. Ruby Falls. So cool. I'm gonna have to get that one. Oh, there's also this one. Kind of like them both. Yeah, they have a lot of nice like gemstones. Really cool rock formations. Oh, I really like this one. Lookout Mountain. We just finished the tour at Ruby Falls, and what just happened? I got a private tour first thing in the morning. I was kind of concerned that I wouldn't be able to get good shots and stuff, and I have to review everything, but that was the most incredible personalized tour that I have done. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to be the only one there, but how magical is that? I'm gonna head over to Rock City Gardens now. I have no words. That was incredible. You know, I do these videos to have my own discoveries. I do these videos to have my own adventures, and sometimes they are more of an adventure than expected, and in the terms of dangerous. This guy crawled on his belly with like 1.5 feet for like 17 hours, I think. God, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but he crawled and crawled and crawled and crawled, and then he fell, fell down, almost killed himself, only to discover this waterfall that he named after his wife. It was just such a romantic story and so inspiring. I feel like I made my own discovery. That was awesome. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you come to Chattanooga, you have to do this. Also, I may come back later, but you can go on the top of that tower and get photos. It's just closed right now because of ice. Yeah. Okay, we just finished at Ruby Falls. We are heading out. We're gonna go over to Rock City Gardens, just opening now, and we're gonna go and check that out. So let's go.
What a spectacular way to start off the day here at Ruby Falls. But our adventure in Lookout Mountain is not even over. In the next video, we're heading higher up the mountain to explore the incredible Rock City Gardens. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, follow along as we keep exploring, learning, and growing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye, dudes.